If at first you don't succeed, try again, maybe again one more time, and you'll eventually get things right. It certainly felt that way as episode 8 saw the faithfuls finally banish a traitor with a little help from the other traitors. Despite this outcome, at first it didn't seem like it was going to end up this way. From the previous episode, we knew Gail, Laurie and Pac-Man were the names discussed as the traitor's next victim, and it was Pac-Man who was their eventual choice, someone who voiced multiple times that Michael John was a traitor. One less possible vote for Michael John, or so it seemed. With Kira no longer actively dropping Michael John's name around, she pivoted to plan B, dropping little hints to her brother Nick that might get him thinking about the possibility of Neda being a traitor. This is where Kira has an advantage over Neda. With Nick, Kira can have the ear of her sibling without him even caring if Kira's a faithful or a traitor. One extra vote to help in her plan. Karine wanted the group to pick 2 people who they thought were good communicators. Instantly, Trina's name was suggested, which doesn't surprise me. We've seen in multiple episodes how she's articulated her reasons and points for thinking someone is a traitor. What did surprise me was that Michael John put his hand up to volunteer, which was promptly shot down. It's no surprise that no one would put him as a good communicator. In fact, it will be the opposite thought.
I think it's very clear that Michael John is perhaps the worst communicator in this game, and I think the only reason he would volunteer is to be a traitor spy.
Lauren and Trina were the communicators, where they were needed to guide the others across a bridge, collect a sack which had a value to add to the prize pot, to the other side while they were blindfolded. This is not a mission I would have wanted to do. Walking blindly on a shaky bridge high above water, no. I'll just remain in the comfort that I'm currently in.
The bridge is shaky like all of my past relationships.
Oh my God, I'm just so grateful to be alive. I can go home to my cat. Bless whoever is looking after me. Buddha, Allah, Jesus, Oprah, thank you so much.
As the mission was happening, I thought to myself, if Cedric is one of the people that falls, Lauren will once again say Cedric is throwing the mission. With Cedric being the last one to go across, it looked like there might be a possibility of that happening as everyone else was successful.
Everybody's completing the mission. If I mess this up, they're gonna say, oh, he sabotaged it.
Lauren asked him if he wanted to go for the 1,500 or 3,000. Cedric wanted to try for the 3,000 with not a lot of time left. There were moments I thought Cedric was either going to fall or not get across before the time ran out. While Cedric grabbed the $3,000, it was looking increasingly likely that he would not make it in time. But Cedric did manage to do so, taking the total won in the mission to $9,500.
I think tonight's the first night that they're going to want to get one of their own.
Yeah, it's not like, oh my.
It was hard not to laugh when hearing Kevin's words. If only he knew that the very person he was speaking to had been trying to get her fellow traitor out for days. Laurie made an interesting point that the traitors will be looking to try and maneuver who they want in the final to almost guarantee their victory. With the end being so close, the last couple of banishments and murder are pivotal to the traitors winning. At dinner, Karine wanted them to secretly vote for who they think is the least trustworthy player. It came as no surprise that Cedric was voted as the least trustworthy. Karine offered him the choice to keep the money won in the mission all to himself or let it go into the prize pot. If he chooses to put it into the prize pot, Karine will double the $9,500. Karine wouldn't reveal Cedric's choice until after the round table.
You guys are voting off sinners, and there's a saint. There's a saint that took $5,000, and you guys are voting off sinners.
I was trying to get a read on where the votes were going to go. Cedric, Kevin, Lauren and Michael John were the names mentioned, but for me it was the least sure I was about who was going to get voted out. Nick's name had earlier been floated about by Michael John, and that seemed to derail any thought of Kira not voting for Michael John. I will admit that I was floored by the votes. I thought this would be yet another episode where the faithfuls failed to vote out a traitor. Most of them ignored what was going on between Kevin and Lauren. I was surprised that Lauren didn't vote for Kevin and instead voted for Michael John. The goal of trying to vote out the head traitor was put aside to just get any. The dynamics between Kevin and Lauren is laughable. Each still thinking the other is a traitor, making a deal, and now everyone else knows. It really does put them in a different light to the others. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them is banished next. After Michael John was banished, what was he even saying by the way, we found out about Cedric's choice. Cedric chose to take the money. I don't blame him because Cedric isn't going to win. I think we and Cedric can agree on that. Most of them don't trust him and think he's a traitor. He has no chance of winning the money, so why not take it? I think if he was in a different position amongst the faithfuls, then maybe he wouldn't. I also think my opinion on whether he should take the money or not would have changed too. In the conclave, Neda suggested Nick, but Kira was trying her best to keep him. Neda already had alarm bells from the moment she first saw Kira in the conclave, even more so when Kira first tried to get Michael John banished. I can't see the two of them at the end together. I don't know if Kira realizes she's making it obvious she wants Nick around for the end goal. While Neda doesn't know they're siblings, she's becoming aware that Nick is an ally to Kira. Gail and Tranna were the choices. To keep Tranna is to keep a vote towards Cedric, but someone who won't let it go if she thinks you're a traitor. Gail would be good for the endgame, but I'm surprised no one has thought maybe she's a traitor and put herself in a cage. I'm still not sure how many episodes to go, but if episode 9 is the penultimate one, it could set things up for an interesting end.